This is Paul Pearson, host of Star Time. And when I'm not meeting Mrs. Jones in that cafe for a chat and nothing else, I'm listening to Rainier Avenue Radio World.
Hey there! We got some beautiful programming here on Rainier Avenue Radio for your holiday season.
We have incredible programming right here on Rainier Avenue Radio. So much to offer: music, shows,
K-Fox Night Beat, Fresh Juice, mental health awareness for men.
Why change the channel? Just keep it locked in on Rainier Avenue Radio. Jazz from the Cabinets playing jazz music, and Star Time playing holiday music. We got a new show on the air as well.
Weekend House Party.
Weekend House Party.
Weekend House Party.
And all of our other familiar programs as well.
The Reggae Hour, Phil Lamb Radio Show, and Midline Sports.
Along with our special A Christmas Carol.
It's an actual radio drama that was recorded by Rainier Avenue Radio hosts and staff, featuring the president of a large media company, visited by three ghosts, past, present, and future.
A Christmas Carol, a classic for us.
Bring in the holidays with your community radio station, Rainier Avenue Radio.
What's going on, world? It's your boy OG Mambo.
And your guy D Money. Join us along with Pint Size Patron and ID Yourself
Here on Fresh Juice at Rainier Avenue Radio.
every Wednesday hump day from 9 to 11 Pacific.
Get exclusive interviews from your favorite artists, all the hottest music, and updates on what we got going on in the world.
That's every Wednesday, 9 to 11 p.m. on Seattle's Rainier Avenue Radio.
Greetings. This is your host, DJ Neftali, Rainier Avenue Radio World, the best DJ in the Seattle area. You can catch me every Monday at 8 p.m. on YouTube. Like I said, this is DJ Neftali, the best reggae in Seattle, Washington, the best radio station, Rainier Avenue Radio World. Come on, right?
We must all remain committed to slow the spread of coronavirus, taking care of ourselves and not putting others in harm's way, especially those already at high risk of getting seriously ill, including people over 65 or those with underlying medical conditions. If you must be out, avoid crowded areas, stay 6 feet or 2 arm lengths away from others, and wear a face covering. Wash hands frequently with soap and water for 20 seconds, especially after being in public spaces. Avoid touching your face, cough or sneeze in a tissue, then throw it away. Disinfect frequently, touch objects, and if you have symptoms of fever, dry cough, and shortness of breath, call your healthcare provider before going to their office. Slowing coronavirus means taking care of ourselves while also protecting others. Even if you're not at high risk, these steps should be taken to help slow the spread of coronavirus. We are all in this together.
On behalf of Rainier Avenue Radio World and K-Fox Night Beat, we want to wish you and your family a very Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and a Happy New Year. Maligayang Pasko at manigong bagong taon.
Well, hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I am Tina Lombard.
And I'm Violeta Strash with Coldwell Banker Danforth.
Great. Well, it's good to see everybody, even though I'm a little crazy in the coloring here. But anyways, it's good to see everybody. We're getting ready and we're getting geared up for Christmas and the New Year.
Yes, we are indeed. And look at my background. It's foggy in my area right now.
It's beautiful though.
Yeah, but sure sign of winter.
It is. It's a
And
sure sign of winter.
maybe we'll have snow. I don't know.
Yes, that would be nice.
Unlike you guys, you never know when we have snow.
Well, we had snow last week and it all melted. Let me see what the degrees are right now. But it's been this has kind of been the warmest winter they've had in history. So it's 32 degrees right now.
Wow.
It'll be 53 on Saturday. It should be, 50, 55 during the weekend. But still, it's Christmas. And so there's still Christmas lights everywhere and everybody's getting ready for the new year. So,
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Here. Okay.
Yes.
Well, we're going to talk about the holidays, the end of the year stuff, and see what we need to get done before 2023 ends.
Yes.
So we'll talk about that. Let me start with the market updates. All right. Okay, so here are the inventory counts for King County. We are looking at 160 homes that went active last week, just this past week now, and then pending 150 homes. Went pending 283 homes sold at an average price of $1,163,000 compared to last year. The same week last year was $1,008,000. So there's a 15% increase from last year. And then for November, we're looking at these specific stats for days on the market. Last year it was 15 in November, 25 days this past month, November. Percent of the list price, 5% higher than the list price last year. And again, all I have to report is pretty even, 100%. Showings per listing, you sellers out there, 13 showings to get to for per listing, and then 9 showings this past November. Showings to get to pending, however, 21 showings to get to pending last year and 19 for this year. Looking at Pierce County, we have 105 active homes, 69 went pending, 122 sold at an average price of $617,000 compared to last year, which was $557,000. And that's an 11% increase there. This past November in Pierce County, we're looking at 18 days on the market versus 32 this year. So 18 last year, 32 this year. Percent of the list price, 2% higher in pricing last year, pretty even this year. Showings per listing, 8 showings last November and 6 this past month. Showings to get to pending, we had 15 showings to get to pending last November and 14 this year. For Snohomish County, our last county that we usually look at, active listing 66, pending 96, and sold inventory 114, an average price of $760,000 compared to last year. The same week sold $748,000, which was a 2% difference from year to year. November days on the market last November was 16. Right now, we seem to be doubling up on these numbers, 27, pretty close to double. And then percent of the list price, 4% more last year. Again, even this past November, showings per listing, 11 showings versus 7 this past November. And then showings to get to pending. Last year we had 18 showings to get to pending. This past November we had 16 showings. So there you have it for the inventory counts in our lovely Seattle metro markets.
Great. Well, that's awesome. So let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the mortgage rates and what they're doing today in the market. Now, this is as of December 12th, 2023. So if you're watching this next year, these rates are going to be a little bit different. But you see a 30-year fix right now is at an average of 7.09. Now, if you look closely there, you'll see that a low of 5.99 and a high of 8.03. So we're coming back in the right direction. A 15-year mortgage is at 6.5. And that's great. But, let's wait for the interest rates to go down a little bit more before you lock in that 15-year, because maybe at 2 months from now, maybe 3 months from now, the 30-year fix will be lower than that 15-year. The 30-year jumbo is at 7.53, but in some banks and in some cases, those jumbo rates actually you can get as low as the conventional rates. So do ask your mortgage lender. The 5/1R is at 6.65. A 30-year FHA has an average right now of 6.42 APR. That's a low of 5.36 and a high of 7.44. So FHA is dropping dramatically, which is great. So keep an eye out on that. Now, I want to point out to you here, this 30-year fix at 7.09 and the FHA at 6.42. Even with mortgage insurance, FHA may price out better for monthly payments, better than the conforming rate of 30-year fix. So do ask your lender the comparison between the FHA and the conventional 30-year fixed. A 30-year VA is also at an average of 6.42 APR across the country. Now, this is according to This is Mortgage News Daily, so I'm pulling this right off of Mortgage News Daily. So a 30-year VA fixed is at a low of 5.37. So if you're really aggressive, you can go out there and find somebody at 5.37. You may have to buy some rates down or what have you, but so that's pretty good. At high of 7.46. So if your mortgage loan officer is saying that your rate is like 7.8 or 8% or something like that, ask again if there's a reason why your rate is a little bit higher. Now, if you look just a little bit below that down, if you go down just to that next screen where they've got the mountains there, you'll see that the rates have gone up dramatically. Let me see, at a 30-year fixed, just a couple of 30th, it was at a high of 7.68, and now we've come down to an average of 7.2. So it's going in the right direction. If you look at that little green notice right there next for Tuesday's rate trend is positive. Okay, so when we say it's positive, it's going in our right direction. There's no danger or there's no threat or there isn't a risk of the rates going higher. So if it was going higher, it would be a negative report. But right now, today's rate trend is a positive report. So it's looking good. So thank you so much, Daniel. And let me tell you a little bit more about these interest rates. So as we predicted, the interest rates have been going up, been going up, been going up. Now they're kind of like, we don't know. But if we think the rates are going to start going back down, the question out there is, should I go ahead and buy my house? Now, let's just wait till February. Better yet, let's go ahead and just wait to April because the rates are going to be a lot lower. Okay, number one, you don't know if the rate's going to be a lot lower. It's trending that way, but you don't know. So you can be just like the other people who waited 2 years ago for the rates to go down, and they went from like 5.5 up to like almost 8. So you may be on that boat. But if you can afford a house right now when the rates are a little bit higher, I say snatch that house up and buy that house. Because when the rates go down lower, there's going to be more people in the market, more people qualifying for that very house that you want to make an offer on. And then now the prices of houses are going to start moving upward because so many people are competing. So houses are going to go up in price if the interest rates should go down. In fact, that's one of the reasons why the interest rates are so high is because they're trying to control the prices of houses. So go ahead and buy whatever you can now. I don't care if it's 8%, 9%. I don't care what it is. If you buy that house now, if the rates should go down, you can always refinance. But when you do refinance, when the rates go down, your house is going to be worth a lot more if there's a more competitive market. So be very, very cautious of that. If you qualify for right now, just go ahead and buy that house. It's always, always good to buy. So anyways, yes. And now as far as the refinance market is actually halted to almost 0%. I mean, in normal days, the refinance market is anywhere from 30 to 50% of the market. It really is. Right now, purchases are very, very good. If you're looking to refinance, you may want to wait a couple more months because you don't want to refinance right now, and then 2 months the rates go down, the rates go down, the rates go down. So as far as cash out refinance, maybe do a second mortgage or something. But if you have a real good first at like 2.5, 2.7, 3.1, you don't want to cash out refinance on that. If you need to get any money out of your home at all, if you want to pull out any of that equity, get a second mortgage. And right now, a lot of these second mortgages are insane. I mean, they'll take bank statements, they'll take stated income. These second mortgages right now are becoming very aggressive and very, very easy to do. So if you want to take any cash out, you want to refinance in any way to get any cash out, think about a second mortgage first of all, instead of popping that 3.2 rate or that 2.75 rate. So I hope that makes sense. Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. There's so many programs out there right now, isn't there, Tina? Mortgage lenders have a slew of programs.
Yes.
First-time home buyers, for investors, for who else? Healthcare professionals, VA, always a good rate for VA. And whatever it is that you are working with financially, you need to bring it to someone like Tina. She can tell you what is available for you. Customize something for just you and have you be ready for that, whether it's, we're, a few weeks out from the end of the year, but certainly for next year, because what's happening is we're getting into the spring market. Things are going to go up. The rates may come down a little bit, but, you're going to be facing a crowd of people that have been sitting around waiting all winter long for the spring market, which starts really quick, and everybody's getting ready for that spring market, right? Sure. Maybe February or whatever.
It's historically February through April.
Yeah. So what else do you see as far as trends for next year, Tina? Do you
Well,
Anything?
what we're finding is, I've been doing this for 30 years, right? There's always the conventional 30-year fix, the FHA and the VA. That's always been standard in the United States. And that's for different times. Now in the year 2023, there are immigrants that come to our country. There are people during COVID who came from China, who came from Europe, and they're like, I want to be in America so something like this happen again. You have a lot of people who are self-employed. In fact, there are so many government initiatives about getting people their own business and being self-employed. You've got more of a self-employment market. So the classic pay stub W-2 person is almost a unicorn. Okay. If you have a W-2 and a pay stub, that's great. You can get a loan. But right now you've got people with like one or two. They've been working at home part-time, making $180,000 a year, three months, 3 hours out of the day on their computer. They're not working 40-hour work weeks. Now, a lot of times conforming loans, FHA and VA have a hard time computing that. So the mortgage company, the last 2 years, the mortgage industry has been very, very creative in making these aggressive files to actually do these loans for people who work 3 hours a day, making $180,000 a year, who did start their own business, who have their own company online, their own store online. So it has changed. So in the year 2024, it is very interesting. Do not think because you just moved here from a different country, or you just started your own job, or you only work part-time, or you're a foreign national from the Philippines or something. You can get a loan this time more than any time in history. 2024 is going to be even more aggressive as far as lending is concerned. You've got mortgage companies that had laid off people years ago, or last year they laid off hundreds of people at a time. These people want to get back to the market. So in order to do that, we're going to, the mortgage industry has created more programs to lend to more people. So it's get ready. Okay.
And a lot of those are ITIN loans, right? Tell them what ITIN is.
So ITIN is individual tax identification number. So if people come from, here's more prevalent in Colorado, it's from Mexico. But we've got people from England. We've got people from Germany. We've got people from Korea. We've got people from the Philippines, people from Canada who come here and they have a tax identification number that acts like a social security number. So these people are waiting for a social security number. So there's more of that going on. And before we had people with illegal documents and they didn't know how to go about things. Well, now we have an ITIN loan. The government has got these people documented. They're making a lot of money. They got great credit. That's also just one part of it. But
they're working several jobs and stockpiling their money.
Mm-hmm. Right. And that's true. Yes, there was a Filipino wave like 30 years ago. There's a big Filipino wave. We had a lot of nurses that came from the Philippines making 3 times the amount of money as the average American. And so a lot of times, I had a husband that's a nurse and I had a wife that was a nurse, and they were banking over $250,000 a year 20 years ago. And nobody wanted to give them a loan because they were scared. During the Iraq war, when we were in Afghanistan, Kuwait and everything else, we actually had a lot of soldiers who came back, and after they retired, they were working for general contractors making something like, $12,000, $15,000 a month just working ammunitions. And nobody believed them, even though they were VA loans. Yeah. So now they're like, okay, yeah, we believe them. They've got things in place where we can verify more. So I'm telling you, it's not just the ITIN loans. It's even VA's more aggressive. FHA, you can do some FHA loans with no credit score. There's crazy things out there.
What about assumable loans?
Assumable loans, yeah. Nobody's going to. Well, yeah, there are assumable loans.
Coming back.
If you got a loan at 3.125 and you put your house on the market, and if it's an FHA loan or a VA loan, and the client is actually FHA or VA, if they qualify for that loan, they can assume that 3 point whatever rate. So those are assumable loans. So that will come back into the market too. But if there's any time in history that you thought you couldn't get a loan, this is the time to apply. 2024 is going to be a big, interesting year. So you might as well jump on the bandwagon now and get it.
Yeah. And what I also been hearing is that millennials and Gen X, they're saying, well, there's no way I can afford a home. You people are making a ton of money. You can't afford a home. You don't want to be out there renting because you don't have any equity for yourself. You're building equity for someone else, your landlord. And there's a lot of stuff out there. I know that builders are looking to increase their inventory in family residential units, Mm-hmm. So things are happening next year that will help you.
Yes, it's a crazy dynamic. You've got these millennials, you've got people who are in their 30s or late 40s, early 40s, 30s, 20s, and they want to live in the big city. They want to have a car. They want a condo in the middle of the big city. They can go down, they can Uber everywhere and get drunk and get back into they don't have kids. They don't want pets. And they're making $200,000 a year at Starbucks or Boeing or something from home. Okay. Then you have people who are older like me who are like, I'm the heck out of the city. I'm gonna go home. I want a pond and a lake in my backyard.
Yeah.
So there's a different dichotomy there. But what people have to understand is, you can work from home now. So during COVID, we really proved that we can work from home. So a lot of people right now, you can work from home on the top of a mountain. So here in Colorado, we're like, hey, go to Vail, go to Aspen, go to Evergreen. You can work from home, the top of a mountain. And when I went down to Costa Rica, they had Amazon executives down there. They had different Boeing executives down there working, on their internet all day long, and they live in Costa Rica. So you do not have to live in the city where the average price of a house is $857,000. You don't. You can go to Umpqua, you can go to, Aberdeen, you can go wherever you want to go and work from home. And so that's another dichotomy here. Now people can actually work from home 4 or 5 hours a day from their home on the top of a mountain, on the beach, in Malibu, wherever they're going to go.
You just need a Wi-Fi, right? You just need your Wi-Fi and your cell phone. If you can get access to all that. You don't need to be in the city. You can be in the outskirts of town where prices are more affordable.
They're either half the
get
price.
Out of Dodge. I mean, there are people I know that work remotely, and maybe their home office is in Seattle, but they live in Arizona.
Oh, it's true. And even when I was buying a house here, people would say, well, you can buy a house here in this neighborhood because you can just Uber downtown and get drunk and come back. I am not kidding you. There are people who are like, oh, I can just Uber downtown and get drunk if I buy a house right here. And it's like, get off of that. Go. You could actually go down the lake and canoe or something like that, or go walk through the forest or something like that. But you think of those terms. But if some people, if you get out of this, you can actually get out of the city and buy houses half as much, or at least a third less.
Yeah.
So think about that. And a lot of people are moving from California into Texas. They're moving in Colorado. They're moving to New Mexico. They're moving to Seattle. Remember, there was like 25 years ago, there was a flood of Californians coming up to Seattle because the prices are lower. So, you want to time yourself, but you do not have to live in the city to have a happy life. And so if you qualify for $800,000, don't go buy a little condo with two bedrooms and a bath in Seattle. Go buy yourself a mansion out in Auburn, something like that, right?
Yeah, and think about all your pets. I have a family I went to go visit, a former client who bought a home from me. I went to visit them this weekend. They grew from 3 dogs. Now they have 5 dogs and 3 cats.
Okay. See,
and it's like, who's going to want that next door at a condo in downtown Seattle? No.
Yeah,
I heard move out.
No, I heard somewhere that dogs actually outnumber kids in the United States.
Oh,
yeah. So I mean, you can't have can't have a husky. I've seen people with huskies with a 1-bedroom apartment. So talk to us. Look what your options are. You can have a utopia right outside the city. But I want to go over what you would need to provide for taxes at the end of the year.
Okay. Yes, please do. What do we need for the end of the year?
I've got like a list right there. First of all, if you want to have your personal information together, you want to have your social security number, your ID card, your spouse's full name, social security number. You want to have your identity protection PIN if you have one. Routing numbers to your bank so that if you do need to pay, you've got the numbers there. If you get a refund, you want the numbers there. Foreign reporting and residential information. So if you do live outside the United States for a while, you want to make sure you have that address together. Dependents information. You want to know how old are your kids, what are their social security numbers, and that sort of thing. So that needs to be in your tax returns. Your sources of income. All your W-2s that you receive from your company or companies. If you're unemployed, you need to bring your unemployment information, your 1099-G. If you're self-employed, you're going to need your 1099s, your Schedule K-1s, your and your records of all your expenses, sometimes P&L statements, business asset information such as bank accounts, in-home information also. So if you do have an office at home, the utilities and everything for your office at home, rental income, you want to have records of income and expenses, your asset information, and your record of estimated tax payments. Retirement income, you also want to have your pension, you want to have your social security number, your award letter, and your traditional IRA information if you do receive any type of withdrawals. Savings and investments. So I'm just going to scan through here all your savings and investments. If you get the end of year tax statement saying how much interest or how much of income that you earned off of your investments, you want to have that. Now, if you go down a little bit more, it's got the different types of deductions. If you go down just a little bit more, Daniel. Now, a lot of times people know on my W-2s, my pay stubs, and my expenses, but they don't think about their deductions. But, like your electrical vehicle information, your real estate or personal property taxes information, your forms 1098 or other mortgage interest statements. So if you do have a mortgage, and for those of you who don't own a home, if you have a mortgage interest statement at the end of the year, you can use that to also help towards reducing your taxes. charitable donations. So if you donate to a church, sometimes the churches do go ahead and send you something at the end of the year saying how much you contributed. Medical expenses, health insurance, childcare expenses, educational expenses such as tuition and different expenses involved in going to college or continuing education. So on and so forth. Retirement savings, federally declared disaster. So if there was a disaster in your area, you want to get records from the county, from your hospital, and everything, your insurance, so on and so forth. So this is quite a list we have here. Thank you, Daniel. Thank you. Now, this I found right off of H&R Block's website at the end of the year. Now, Violeta, there's, when I was younger, I just had my job, my W-2, my pay stub, and some bank accounts, and boom, I put that in myself. I did my taxes myself for like years. And when I got married, I did me and my husband's for years. But when I bought a house, and I bought like maybe 5 houses in my time, I bought all these different houses, you really need to get a CPA.
Right.
Go to a tax accountant, a CPA, not just H&R Block. I don't know, not just H&R Block, not just to just a regular what have you. You want to get a CPA or a tax person that actually will go through everything. I've used one for over 20 something years. But I tell you, my lady, Arlene Ibe, there in University Place, she takes care of everything, but there's so many things that you'll miss as far as being able to write off and have income on. So make sure if you have a house, if you have a business, you are not doing your own taxes. Okay, make sure you go to a CPA and they can tell you exactly what they need for you to do an accurate income tax account. And also, if you do make a lot of money, let's say you make $300,000 a year doing construction or doing dental or spa or something like that, make sure your tax accountant isn't just writing everything off just because you don't want to pay taxes. That's not going to help you if you try to apply for a loan. It's not going to help you if you need a business loan or line of credit or anything. Make sure you're very accurate with your taxes, okay? So that's my tip. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and all those the accountants that you do get a professional, whoever it is, they will know, like for your industry, my industry, all the deductions that you could possibly have that people don't take advantage of. I took a class and I'm going, what? I can write that off and that off? Oh, I had no idea.
Yeah.
So you need to get prepared, all your paperwork for that. And then I have a couple of lists real quick for home buyers. So was that all you had, Tina? I didn't want to interrupt you, but things to get home buyers and home sellers prepared for the new year. Review your finances. Check your credit score, your financial situation, assess your budget for a home purchase. And again, don't buy a big ticket item like a new car or boat or whatever if you're in the process of wanting to buy a house. Just wait till you actually get into a home and then get your new furniture and all that. Pre-approval, now's a good time to get Tina to get a pre-approval letter ready for you, because chances are you're going to close next month or in February. So get those done. Continue to do your home search, you buyers out there, because soon there is some inventory, and I've been seeing a few new stuff come along on the MLS right now. So talk to me about all this new inventory. Get your home inspections done. And so especially with this weather that we're having, you can see some of the things that a seller may not disclose. So your inspector can point those things out. Negotiate for credits or repairs or whatever based on those inspections. And then start the closing process. Make sure everything is okay before the end of the year. And then for the sellers, get your house ready to sell. I know, sometimes everybody decorates to help during the holidays. It's a good time to do some open houses and show your house in a beautiful, way during the season. And then evaluate the prices based on the current market, anticipate what's going to happen in the spring. Again, we want to attract those buyers, Mr. Seller. So let's have everything in a good light for your home. Marketing, get agents, get out there and get your marketing done and be ready for the spring market. Then you're going to review offers and again, prepare for closing, and then the tax considerations that you will take to your professional, as Tina was talking about. But those are my tips for home buyers and sellers.
Yes.
There you go.
So the end of the year is good. I mean, if you did do a cash refinance or something like that, you want to bring those to your tax account too, just like Violeta was saying. At the end of the year, a lot of times sellers say, let's just close the loan before the end of the year so they can use the expenses to write off on their tax returns. So,
yeah. Well, and then tune into Rainier Avenue Radio.world for all the holiday music and the Christmas Carol that was recorded a while back. It was so much fun to listen to the group perform for that. And what else, Tina? Do you have any other announcements?
No, it's got here. Daniel sent this. He sent this out. Join us for a holiday vendor fair this Saturday from 11 to 5 p.m. at the Columbia City Theater, featuring local businesses. Also, we're running an all-day toy drive along with Atlantic Street Center to bring an unwrapped toy to the Columbia City Center Theater between 11 and 5 this Saturday as well. Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
Oh, fun. Sounds like a lot of fun.
Okay. I think that's it for this session. And next week, I want to just prep everyone. We're going to have holidays from our home to yours. Yes. We'll see what that's all about. Okay, so thank you for joining us today. I'm Violeta Strash with Coldwell Banker Danforth.
And I'm Tina Lombard. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.